We have some big news tonight on the Arizona Coyotes organization. The lease agreement is being terminated on Gila River Arena, and they will have no choice but to find a new home by the end of next season. We also have a couple of signings and a buyout in Detroit. All that coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As you can see, I am not home. I am not my normal recording location. We are once again taking a little bit of a last-minute summer vacation here, enjoying the last couple days away. Just to give you a quick update here, I could all use some really good vibes from sending my way from all you wonderful viewers. Yesterday, we arrived at the hotel last night to a bit of a screw-up and getting the room messed up. And then I just found out about an hour ago that the parking garage at the hotel where I'm parked here, that I just got a call from the front desk saying that my car was backed into. So it was a little bit, and better yet, even though there were several witnesses, the driver decided to take off. So a little bit of a hit and run action, which is freaking fantastic on vacation. Woohoo! So if you could all send me some good vibes for the rest of the trip to go much better, I would appreciate it. Now into today's news. We have a couple of signings here. Some entry-level contracts signed by a couple of first-round picks in the 2021 NHL Draft. Sillinger to the Detroit Red Wings and Stillman of New Jersey. Both signing their entry-level deals here today. Both sons of former NHL players. So it seems fitting they get that done today here as well. So obviously they're both looking like pretty solid pickups for those franchises and will become pretty decent hockey players here down the road. We also got word and confirmation today that Owen Power is not going to be going to Buffalo, even though he was drafted first overall. Some thought there was a chance he would do it, but he is going to be attending the University of Michigan and foregoing the chance to make the jump directly to the NHL. Now, I know seems to be a difference of opinion out there. Some seem to think that the Sabres are in a bit of a mess right now. Maybe it's best he goes, plays college hockey, dominates, continues building his confidence, and maybe in a year or two join them then. Or some feel, you know what, he was drafted first overall for a reason. He's ready, and if you're drafted first overall and you're ready, you should go to the greatest league in the world. I've seen a difference of opinion out there on it. I'm not really sure what to think myself. I can kind of see both opinions, to be completely honest. A little bit surprising. You think every player is anxious and chomping at the bit to get to the NHL, and when you're going first overall, and obviously everybody feels you're ready to make that jump. It's hard to pass that up, but he's officially announced he's going to be attending college in Michigan, who he had previously committed to before the draft, but I don't think Michigan would have been overly upset with him had he said, you know what, I went first overall and the Sabres want me, so I have to, I don't have to, but I've chosen to go to the NHL, but we'll see where things go. I mean, he played with Team Canada at the World Championships against, men, older players, many of which in the NHL, and he didn't look out of place at all as the tournament went on. He rose up and got even more of a role with Canada, became one of their top defensemen, was logging lots of minutes, and really this kind of fit right in perfectly. So we'll see. But like I said, Buffalo's in a really odd spot right now. They're looking to trade Jack Eichel. They made a lot of significant changes. We know they're not going to be good this year. And maybe it's best for him to stay away for a year and see where things go. Hard to say exactly what the opinion is. I mean, when it comes to Jack Eichel, I mean, this wasn't really news per se, but he did, obviously, as we talked about before, there was a Jack Eichel profile and an account popped up on Twitter, which originally was reported as being fake. Then we confirmed that it was actually legit. It really is him. It's a verified account on Twitter, and it is Jack, and he just tweeted today, and it was just an emoji of a sad face, and that's it. So you can tell that he's trying to be discreet about it, but at the same time, probably saying that, I wish this would be over with, and I'm kind of sad that it's not. So we'll have to see where things go on the Eichel front. There really isn't any other updates in that regard, but we'll have to see where things go on that front. Also, like I said, Detroit has announced that they are buying out Frans Nielsen of the final term on his contract for 1 year. They're not going to save a ton of money. His cap hit was originally 5.25. His cap hit drops for the year to 4.25, so they save a whopping $1 million, and then they'll have a cap hit next year of $500K, but they're not really in any kind of a cap issue, so there's really no real issue. It's really just to move them along and free up a roster spot. They save a little bit of money, which every little bit helps right now, and that is really about it. Now, some of you might be wondering how they were able to do that, because we already had a buyout window after the playoffs ended, and that window closed. However, teams that do have any cases that are filed for arbitration do get a 48-hour second window once their final arbitration cases are settled and satisfied. So in Detroit's case, they got the, I think it was the Adam Ernie contract was the last one. So they get a 48-hour window. Now, the case doesn't actually have to go to arbitration. They just have to have an arbitration case filed. And then once they're all settled, they get another window. 48 hours from the time that everything's announced, they can do another buyout. So that's why they're able to do that. So you could see a few more of these here as teams might look to free up a little bit of cap space or move along for some contracts that weren't able to trade or what have you. So don't be shocked if you see maybe one or two more of these. Nielsen was a player we had talked about before, right before that first buyout window opened up, as all the candidates we thought could maybe end up happening. And here we go. I was a little bit surprised they didn't do it the first time around. Maybe he was, Yzerman was exploring trading him, seeing what they could do. Had no luck, so here we go. And of course, we also want to see what else they could add to make sure they could really use the roster spot, which of course now they can do that. So before we jump into talking about the Arizona Coyotes, which is the bigger news of the day, I do need to pause for a moment and acknowledge our channel sponsor, Manscaped. Proud to be sponsored by Manscaped. Of course, with Manscaped, we have a special offer here for all Top Shelf Hockey viewers where you can get 20% off and free shipping on all orders at manscaped.com. Now, of course, Manscaped just launched a brand new Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, which is a fantastic product. They've taken a level up here, even again with the skin-safe replaceable blades. It's waterproof, it's wireless charging, has a travel lock on it, as well as a nice light so you don't miss what you're doing. So certainly a terrific product. Now, many people associate Manscaped with their trimmers, which is certainly kind of their top product, but they do have a lot of other great options as well, including what they call the Weed Whacker, which is another trimmer for your ears and nose. And they have a variety of deodorants and sprays as well, which also keep you fresh and are terrific as well. So certainly Manscaped has a lot to offer, and we certainly highly recommend all of their products. So check out manscaped.com and use promo code TSH for 20% off and free shipping. Thank you very much for watching that promotional content. I do greatly appreciate it. Also, as a quick reminder, we do have a sale on our merchandise as well. It's not just hoodies, it goes towards our t-shirts as well. I'll put the promo code here on the screen. You can have a quick look if you haven't already placed an order. We've had a lot of extra orders. Orders are way up compared to normal, so thank you very much for your support. I do greatly appreciate it. Now, jumping into the Arizona Coyotes situation, we get a really significant article today from Katie Strang in The Athletic. She is known to be doing a lot of the tough, hard-hitting pieces, not just in hockey, but across multiple sports here. And today we got word that the Arizona Coyotes have been notified by Gila River Arena, since they don't own the arena, they have a working relationship with the city of Glendale, that their lease agreement will not be renewed. It's basically being terminated at the end of the upcoming NHL season. So as of June the 30th, they are no longer tenants at that arena. So this is 100% going to be their last year, at least at that arena. It doesn't necessarily confirm 100% that they leave Arizona as a state, but it does confirm they leave that arena. Now, a lot of things have gone into this. Now, we know the struggles that they faced over the last, well, really the whole time they've been there. Like, they've never really had a period of time that things were phenomenal. They had great attendance and money was flowing good, and, you know, a lot of on-ice success. The on-ice success has been kind of here and gone. Like, they've had a few, you know, they've had their moments. They haven't been a terrible team the entire time. Earlier in their existence, after first moving from Winnipeg, they were probably, fair to say, a better team then. The last 10 years, I think they had, was it 2012? I'm trying to remember, going by memory here. I could be wrong. I think it was 2012. They did a deeper playoff run. Otherwise, they've missed the playoffs way more than they've made it. Haven't had a great on-ice product. Attendance has been an issue, and they just generally struggled. So it's fair to say that a team that's already struggling was probably harder hit from the pandemic than a lot of their other teams across the league. I'm sure all teams took a hit, but it probably hurt them more than most, we'll say. So with this, we also know that with the city of Glendale, they have been trying to work out a long-term extension. They were not necessarily wanting to get rid of them. They actually, get this, we already talked about, I think back in, I can't remember how many months ago it was now, but it was a ways back. It was during when the NHL was in between the bubble season and the current season that just ended here. There was reports that they were behind on their payments for the arena lease payments. Now we get confirmation that they're still behind. And at that point, I think there were some other reports that came out saying that payments were being made and everything was being caught up and everything was in good shape. But if that was out there, and I believe it was not true. We got confirmation in this article today that as of today, there are, I believe actually this was probably dated a couple weeks back, so it probably hasn't changed a whole lot. They're about just shy of $1.5 million behind, and at least $300,000 of that is considered long-term, like past due. So like we're talking like 120 days or more. So that's really not great. And then on top of that, during the early days of the pandemic, the city of Glendale reportedly they forgave some of the debt and kind of let them off the hook as long as they made the agreement with them, which they did, to be current and make sure they're on time going forward. And that hasn't happened. So financially, if you can't even pay for your arena, does that not give you severe concerns about the financial stability of the team? I mean, I know the ownership, like I know Alex Murillo was reported to have deep pockets. Maybe it's just a reluctance to put money into it. I don't know. But to further this along, the team and the city of Glendale has been having negotiations trying to work out a long-term lease agreement. They were talking about a minimum 12 years, but preferably a 15 to 18-year arrangement on a lease. There was talks of a lot of renovations being done to update the arena. The arena's not like super old, but usually a lot of arenas, when they get to that 18 to 20 year mark, they need updating, or teams start to think about maybe moving on to a new location and building a new arena. And in this case, there was a bunch of renovations that I don't know the exact amount they want to do. And the city of Glendale said they were willing to stand shoulder to shoulder with the Coyotes and help make it happen. So it sounded like they were willing to split it. I can't confirm that 100%, but based on the article, the way it was written, that's what it kind of leads you to think. But then the city found out that the team wasn't trying to pay for it themselves. They were trying to get like tax dollars and trying to get public funding. I understand. Their response was that they've seen a lot of other sports teams in their area go through similar situations with updating their sports facilities, and then it was all kind of, the taxpayers that foot the bill, and that's what they were looking for. But I'm like, can you put some of the money into it yourself? And the answer appears to be no. So they're like, okay, well, they kind of had enough and said, well, this isn't clearly going to work out. So we're going in a new direction here. So we're just going to end the lease and figure out what else to do. So I know there was reports of the Coyotes looking at a location in Tempe, Arizona, honestly, but they've now got a year to get things figured out. If I have serious doubts that they have the capability of building a new arena, unless somebody's going to come along and magically pay for it all, and I don't think that's going to happen. Gary Bettman himself was recently quoted as saying that it's not going to work in Glendale, that basically if they're going to stay the Arizona Coyotes, that they're going to have to find another place in the state to call home, that it wasn't working as is where it is. So we've already that's the first time we really heard him say something like that. He's been pretty adamant on, kind of protecting the whole move there. When anybody brings it up that it was, a non-traditional location and never really worked, like he's defended his decision to help them move there a long time ago. But it's a complete mess. Now the article goes on to reference 2 locations that they feel could take him on as a moving situation. And of course, it's not any big surprise. There's 2 spots that are really showing interest in NHL hockey as of late that are pretty ready and don't have a team. And it's the Quebec City location and Houston, Texas. Now, both locations have an arena. I believe Houston would need some updating, and I don't think that it's completely ready. I'm not as familiar with the Houston situation. I know Quebec City, that arena was built to NHL specifications not that long ago. In the last, I can't even remember how many years it's been now, but the Quebec Ramparts of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League have been using it. I know I saw the arena. I went to Quebec City, and I did see it when it was first opened. Beautiful facility. They've held lots of concerts. Like I said, they had the Quebec Ramparts play there, and a variety of other events that they've tried to put through there. But the thing is Quebec City, Quebecor, who was going to be looking to get the bidding on the expansion franchise, everything in the NHL is done in U.S. dollars. So in Canada, you have to convert that, and U.S. money and Canadian money typically have a difference. So it's way more expensive once you can do the conversion to Canadian dollars. So if you look at what Seattle just paid and what Vegas paid, when you're talking like $600 million, you convert that to Canadian funds, you're looking at, you know, depending on the day in the exchange, anywhere from 900 million to like $1 billion. So that's substantial dinero here. So doing it as a relocation where they could, if the current owners were to sell and they could just take it over, the value would be much lower. They might be able to do that for, I don't know, 200-300 million. I'm not sure what the value on that would be, but it would be way cheaper. So if Quebec City ever gets a team, again, to me, it's going to have to be through relocation and not through expansion. The only problem is the NHL finally has 32 teams, 16 teams in each conference. I would think they would prefer to keep the team in the Western Conference, or they would have to, because Quebec City would have to be in the Eastern Conference. They'd have to figure out, and I'm not really sure which one, if any, would really make sense to go west to even things out, because then you're going to end up with an odd number on each side. And, you know, they like to, you know, the evenness, which they've been kind of looking for a long time, and they're just about to get it. And now they're, you know, and Arizona, keep in mind, they're going to the Central Division this year as well, another little tidbit. So, obviously, it's going to change what teams they're playing against more, and there's travel schedule, all that kind of stuff. So, some interesting times, but are the Coyotes that basically are being evicted? They could be forced to move unless they don't. They've only got a year. Not even a full calendar year at that, a full year in terms of an NHL season to get an arena figured out, or they don't have a place to play next year. So are the Coyotes finally going to move? I know that I feel bad for Arizona fans, you know, to have to deal with this kind of stuff, but you would know, especially if you've been to games and you've been in the air, like it's not working to the extent that it needs to be successful. And if something's got to give here. So where are the Coyotes going to end up? Is there a viable solution to keep them in the state of Arizona? Will they end up in Houston? Will they end up in Quebec City? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Don't forget to send me some good vibes so the rest of my vacation goes much, much better. Otherwise, we had a great day today. If you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe and stick around. We'll keep you up to date with all the latest news, rumors, and analysis on all 32 NHL teams. Coming to you live from Halifax, Nova Scotia. I will catch you next time.